Hello, good evening, and welcome to Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Iron Port is proudly brought to you in association with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance, Ghana Revenue Authority, and Ghana Link Network Services, the operators of the Integrated Customs Management System at the ports, that's the ICOMS. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times, and so if you want to have a grasp of all that transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT. And you'll be able to see all that transpired on the show. We're also streaming live on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA Ghana, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA Ghana. On YouTube, we are streaming live at Iron Port Ghana. Iron Port Ghana. Remember, you can send your comments and messages ahead of the show to our WhatsApp line, which is 0559-019-177, 0559-019-177, and let's get interactive. At the appropriate time, I shall also activate our phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We'll be right back after this break. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goyle makes good things happen. This time, Goyle has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goyle has that sorted. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Assets All Risks Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the flood have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance
for the project and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and maritime industry in the course of the week. And this week, the PSC Tema shipyard management says they have performed positively in terms of financials, and so they have posted some huge profits there. Plus the fact that Logos Hope, the world's #1 floating vessel that has a book fair, has returned to Ghana and is docked at the port of Tema. It's going to be there from now until the 28th of February. And so you and your family can go there and perhaps take a look at some of the books that they have in store. Plus the fact that LCB Worldwide Ghana, the company that's fumigating imports and exports at the port, has taken its market centers fumigation exercise to the Eastern Regional Capital. We'll bring you these stories. Let's take a look at them.
The management of the Tema shipyard has revealed that in 2021, the company was able to surmount a deficit of $2.6 million to make a net profit of $580,000 despite the challenges the company has been grappling with over the past few years. The Chief Executive Officer of the Tema shipyard, Dr. Alexander Yawedusei, indicated that the positive financial performance was as a result of prudent management.
We were able to do that with prudent management, making sure that we can control our expenditure. Basically, what I and my team did was to control our expenditure and also plug leakages in the system.
He asserted that although the positive performance did not meet the company's target, he is confident this year the target would be met.
We could not meet our targets. If we had met our targets, we would have done better than the $500,000 you are talking about. But we do assume that in 2022, with the strategic plan we've put together, with the programs we are embarking on, with a mantra, $2 million a month, if we are able to stay on course and all our workforce take ownership of that mantra and work towards it, we will be able to pick ourselves up, be able to retool, be able to get appropriate machinery that we need to be able to make more money.
These revelations emerged during the familiarization visit by the board of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to the Tema shipyard. GPHA since 2016 absorbed the Tema shipyard as one of its business units under the direction of government. The board chairman of GPHA, Isaac Osei, was impressed with efforts the management and staff of the Tema shipyard are making to keep the company afloat.
And over here in shipyard, we can see the effort which the staff are making to keep this place operational. First, we have a duty of care to make sure that we bring the shipyard back. And then secondly, we have a responsibility to the people of Ghana to make sure that this place can be operated profitably, and various ships will make this place their port of, not just the port of call, but a point where they can get their ships fixed.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, expressed the commitment of the authority to continue to give the needed support to return the ship repair facility to prominence.
Despite the situation of the yard, you still have vessels that have confidence to still come. That tells you that if we got it refurbished and modernized, it is going to really drive a lot of traffic into Ghana, Tema Port, and also to this place. So it is a cash cow, huge potential. We are going to work hard to ensure that we move forward. Like we encourage the management, they should work hard.
In a related development, the board of directors of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority also paid a familiarization visit to the Kpong Unity Terminal. The leadership of the National Union of Seamen, Port and Allied Workers, the majority union of the Tema shipyard, has assured that this year the union will resort to dialoguing rather than the public display of unrest. The year 2020 was characterized by many such agitations by workers towards management at the Tema shipyard, often over welfare issues. However, that took a toll on productivity at the facility as well as the reputation of the company. With 2022 looking promising, the staff at the ship repair facility have vowed to be more measured in their approach to work closely with management to arrive at mutually beneficial solutions that would move the company in the right direction.
I assure management that this year there will not be industrial unrest. Since we are ready for dialogue, we'll continue to be dialoguing, not confrontations. We'll never do that anymore, and we assure management.
We still need to sacrifice for the sake of the company and the security of our job, hoping that things will change, which at least they are listening to us, and we are working.
The union leaders assured of the continued commitment of workers to achieve the company's fortunes.
So we entitle all the workers that they need to abide by the rules and regulations of the company so that we can be able to achieve our goal. Without discipline, nothing will work in this yard.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Tema shipyard assured of management's commitment to work closer with staff for the shared objectives of the company.
We have come to a point where we understand each other. We are not going to change the narrative, but the narrative we can change to our customers is to ensure that they understand that we have come back together as a family, and it's a shipyard family. And our goal is to ensure that we can give better turnaround once they bring their vessels to us.
The largest floating book fair, Lagos Hope, has birthed at the port of Tema, on its third visit to the shores of Ghana. The Lagos Hope is opened at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. of every day until the 28th of February, except on Mondays. At a fee of 8 Ghana cedis, the public can visit the port of Tema to purchase a variety of literature ranging from education, children and Christian on board the Lagos Hope. Speaking during the opening ceremony, Director of Lagos Hope, Randy Grebe, indicated that the book fair symbolizes a beacon of love and hope for all people around the world.
Story of love, forgiveness, reconciliation. It's just a great story. And of course, people come from different backgrounds. They have different needs, different wants in their reading. So some like storybooks, some like educational books, reading books. We have, of course, cookbooks and self-help books.
He encouraged the public to not miss the chance to experience the Lagos Hope.
We are just inviting you, and you can see many, many thousands of titles of books for every age, children, parents, and grandparents.
The Lagos Hope houses 300 crew members from 60 different nationalities and has visited more than 100 countries worldwide. The 132-meter-wide passenger ship was previously in Ghana in 2010 and 2016, respectively. The literature-driven outreach service has, however, been to Ghana 17 times over 45 years. Internationally acclaimed crisis management company LCB Worldwide Ghana Limited, in collaboration with the Ghana Union of Traders Association (GUTA), has taken the fumigation of market centers in the country to the eastern regional capital, Authority-GPHA. Thousands of shops in the city spanning 6 market centers, namely Central Market, Jobbins, Zongo Market, Agatha Market and Beat Market, were fumigated on Sunday, 23rd January 2022 in efforts to help quell the spread of the COVID-19. This comes on the back of a similar fumigation exercise jointly carried out by GUTA and LCB Worldwide Ghana Limited at the Bosoka Spare Parts Market in the Greater Accra region last Sunday. Outlining why the company decided to partner GUTA to embark on the Market Centers Fumigation Project, Chief Executive Officer of LCB Worldwide Ghana Limited, Karim Abu, said as part of the company's corporate social responsibility, it viewed the market centers COVID-19 prone areas due to the crowded nature. The Vice President of GUTA, Clement Boateng, underscored the importance of fumigating the market centers in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Because GUTA derives most of its members from the marketplace. That is why we have, choosing the market centers as our point of embarking on this exercise, so that we will be able to, control this pandemic for the benefit of our people, to be healthy and sound, to be able to carry out their normal business.
The Municipal Chief Executive of the New Jobbins South Municipal Assembly, Honorable Isaac Apau, on his part, expressed delight at the efforts of LCB Worldwide and GUTA to offer some relief to the traders through the fumigation exercise.
I'm happy that GUTA has also spearheaded this spraying exercise. It is fantastic. I believe it must be carried to all the regional capitals, or if possible even to the districts.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and maritime industry globally.
On 15th January 2022, giant Panama-flagged container ship Eva ALP crossed the Suez Canal to its first voyage from Qingdao port in China to the port of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. According to Osmar Raibi, head of Suez Canal Authority, the crossing of the 24,000 TEU container ship proved the canal's ability to receive all giant container ships with such capacity. This category of ships specializes in crossing the Suez Canal without other shipping lanes to transport trade between Europe and Asia. A new report for the Getting to Zero Coalition, an initiative for accelerating international shipping decarbonization, outlining policy measures that could close the competitiveness between fossil fuels and zero-emission alternatives in the shipping, has been launched. The report, titled Closing the Gap, was prepared by a maritime consultancy UMAS for the partnership between the Global Maritime Forum, Friends of Ocean Action, and the World Economic Forum. It highlights the need for zero-emission fuels to become the dominant fuel source by the 2040s in order to achieve international shipping decarbonization, and underlines the importance of the development of policies that could close the competitiveness gap and accelerate the maritime zero-emission trajectory.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's now time for us to zoom into our discussion proper tonight. And tonight we're taking a look at the role of customs in sustaining transit trade through Ghana's corridors. The customs are the number one go-to place if you're talking about transit trade in our country. And so tonight we want to find out what role they have to play to ensure that we sustain this particular business in our country. I'm privileged tonight to introduce to you the Assistant Commissioner in charge of Transit at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Assistant Commissioner Peter Antubre Ofori. Good evening, sir, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. All right, so first of all, I would want you to give us a sense of what it is like in terms of transit trade in Ghana. What is it like at the moment?
Okay, thank you very much. For the purpose of our listeners, first of all, I want to take the opportunity to say hello to your listeners and viewers.
Right.
And for the purpose of your listeners, I just want to
explain,
and viewers,
yes,
I just want to explain what is
transit trade is. Right, sure.
It is an international trade regulated or guided by the protocols, conventions, guidelines of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, and then the Customs Organization. The main purpose of the transit trade is actually to help those countries, we call them the landlocked countries, that do not have direct access to the international market, to access the international market.
By landlocked countries, we're referring to countries that do not have ports.
Yes. So, for example, in West Africa, we have Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, as countries who do not have the seaport. And other countries in West Africa which have the seaports must be able to allow them to access the international market. And so when they import their goods to our ports, we allow them to cut them through our routes to their country of destination without executing taxes on them. It is to afford them the opportunity also to have access to the international trade at the barest cost. And so that is all about transit. Yeah, so if you want to know the state of transit in Ghana as it is, we would want to say that it is very vibrant and it is performing very well. Transit is bilateral, regional, and then international trade. And it affords Ghana the opportunity to have that bilateral relationship with our neighbors and also that regional cooperation with the West African region. It is doing well because we have automated our ports, and at the point of exit where the goods must exit, we have created seats, transit seats, such that the regime is treated differently and with commitment to the extent that we do not waste time. The transit trade actually is also job-inducing trade regime because we have a lot of vehicles that cart these goods. We see that the filling stations is patronized. GIF have job to do. We have car owners and food vendors and also transporters and even SIC. They are all in good business. And as we speak now, even transit to Côte d'Ivoire has increased because of the competitiveness of our port. And so the transit trade is actually doing well in Ghana. Yeah.
All right, so you said when they come, we allow them, we don't, execute tax on their goods. Does that mean that they don't pay duty in Ghana?
No.
Okay.
They don't pay duty in Ghana. So, in fact, we call it suspense regime thing, sort of. the duties are suspended, and therefore we have to monitor it so that it does not get into our local market. And so we do a lot of monitoring until they reach the point of exit. But we make sure that we don't execute taxes on these goods. Yes.
All right, and you mentioned the job-inducing kind of thing, which means that through transit trade we create jobs.
Yes.
And you mentioned SIC, that's a state insurance company.
Yes.
Is it the only company that is benefiting from transit trade in Ghana? Or, well, we have 1,001 insurance companies in Ghana. So
Yes.
I was wondering why you singled out SIC.
For now, it is the government insurer. So for now, it is the single insurance company that we're working with.
All right. I still have one more thing that I want to chew on with regards to your opening statement, and that has to do with your closing remarks. You mentioned, or in your last sentence, you mentioned Côte d'Ivoire with their transit trade booming. How is that?
What I want to say is we have a lot of transit from the Tema port
going to
Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
And it means that most importers in Côte d'Ivoire may find it cumbersome to clear their goods at Côte d'Ivoire port. And looking at our automations and the short time clearance period at the Tema port, their importers prefer to clear the goods in Tema, and then they send it to Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I want us to look at 2021 in retrospect and find out how you were able to position yourself to ensure that you facilitated this business, and how did it fare?
Yes. In 2021...
What were some of the key things that you did that you think are worthy of mention or sharing with our viewers and listeners?
See, we realized that we needed a lot of engagement with our stakeholders, especially the freight forwarders, the transporters, and then car owners. And so last year, we had a lot of engagement with them. And then during the engagement, we addressed most of our difficulties. So that is one of the things that we did. And also, we review our processes and procedures and automated them. And so a lot of the things that were formerly done manually are now done electronically. And so we try to reduce the human interface and some of the bottlenecks by automating our procedures. And also at the checkpoint, one of the main impediment is the hours they wait on the road. And Ghana Link, with our collaboration with Ghana Link, provided and distributed expensive laptop, high-quality tablets, not laptop, tablets, at our mandatory checkpoints. And so that when the vehicles reach there, we only ask the driver's name and the car number. And then we take a picture of the vehicle, and all the information on the transit vehicle is uploaded automatically into the system. And so you will not spend about 3 minutes at any of the checkpoints. And we also reduced the checkpoints. So from here to, let's say, Paga, the mandatory checkpoint is about only 4. And then at the exit stations, we created, as I said before, seats that is dedicated for transit transactions. And so these are some of the ways that we put to ensure that we facilitate the trade. Yeah.
All right, you mentioned bottlenecks,
Yeah.
In your submission. What are some of these bottlenecks?
The bottlenecks, in the first place, I would say that human beings can be the number one bottlenecks. And it means that we have automated, but still you need some of our staff to input certain data. And sometimes, lapses do occur. That is one. One of the bottlenecks is also internet reliability, especially at the point of exit. At the time that you would want to enter the data to even close transaction, you wouldn't have that internet facility. And therefore, you would have to wait. And so as you wait, goods are still coming and landing. And so it becomes a huge problem to the extent that sometimes the officers do forget that they have some outstandings that they will have to complete. And the vehicle may even exit, but those transactions will still be standing in the system as though it has not exited. So these are some of the bottlenecks. And, you know, we have made our system in such a way that we would want to have smooth sailing of the transportation of the transit business. And so we have advised the drivers and then the agents that anytime you have problem on the way, be it accidents or breakages, report immediately at the nearest point of customs administration or checkpoint. But unfortunately, they try to tamper with the goods, and sometimes it becomes a big problem for us. And some of the bottlenecks too. You know, we transit cargo and vehicles, private vehicles, you know, and the transit vehicles and then vehicles that are manufactured for import, they all have the same number plates, I mean, the color. And so if in town you see a vehicle that has already paid duty and a vehicle that is on transit, by looking at their numbers, you will not be able to find out which one is for transit and which one is for home consumption. And so we liaise with the DVLA so that they give us a separate number plate for transit.
Right.
Yeah, so that is also another discussion which is ongoing. It has kept long though, but when it comes, it will be...
I need you to go back there. You mentioned DV number plate and a separate plate for transit. Please go over it again. Let me get it clear.
What I want to say, should somebody import vehicle for home consumption, before he registers his vehicle, he is given defective number plate. Yes, and then they have either DP or something on it. Yes. Okay. The same DP number is given to...
DP, I understand, is direct from port or something?
Yes.
Direct from port.
Yes.
It means you are just freshly, you know, remove the car from the port.
Yes.
Paid your duty and you are supposed to take it out.
It is the same number plate that they also give to
the
vehicles that are
meant for transit.
That are meant for transit.
Okay.
And so if I am to go on transit with that vehicle and I am moving in town anywhere I want to go, you cannot easily be identified.
Yeah.
But if we should have a different color, and then it is made known that this is the color for vehicles that are for transit.
Transit, yeah.
Because when you
are so instead of making it DV, you make it TV.
If it is DP and it is green, or it is yellow,
then you know it's for transit.
Yes, so we know that it is for transit. Okay. And you see, when you manifest your cargo for transit, we give you a dedicated route, which you should use. If you deviate from that route,
that's
diversion, and you must be arrested.
That was going to be my next question. I'll come to that, but you finish.
Yes, you see, but if DVLA should quicken this step, it is going to remove that bottleneck. Yes, and it is going to...
So have you reached out to DVLA to put forth this suggestion to them?
Yes.
And what was the response?
Yes, the discussion is ongoing,
it's still ongoing,
but it has kept a bit long. We were expecting that within 6 months, but it's over 1 year now.
Right.
So
maybe you need to go back and give a reminder.
Yes, we are on it. Yes.
All right. So let's take a look at the issue of. Yes, I want to first of all let me chew on this one first before I come to the issue of diversion. I want to find out from you. You mentioned the issue of internet access, poor internet connectivity. So one of the challenges in terms of your officers trying to work with their tablets and all that, which delays the job. The job piles up, and sometimes you say they even forget that they are supposed to complete some before taking on new ones. Is it not a matter of getting reliable data, or what is the issue, and how are you trying to resolve this particular issue? Because if it persists, I mean, turnaround time is going to affect everybody, and that's money.
Yes, and thank God the Ghana Link, which is the service provider for the integrated management system, is always working on it. But I think that they depend on the telcos and sometimes, you know, certain things do happen. It is a bit technical. And so sometimes we do have internet challenges. But the Ghana Link is actually any time that, in fact, we've even, apart from the challenge of internet, also we have power supply. But they have been able to provide us with generators, which allow us to have continuous power. And so that one, we have come out of it. But the internet is a bit challenging. So, but
All right.
the Ghana Link is helping the GRA to break that impediment.
Okay, a viewer just sent in this. I would still come to the issue of diversion, but he says, I'm Isaac from Takoradi. Please ask your guest how imported transit vehicles are handled at the port. Do they also pay overstay penalties, and can transit vehicles be auctioned?
Overage penalty for?
For vehicles. Please ask your guest how imported transit vehicles are handled at the port. Do they also pay overstay penalties if the car overstays in the port? Because when a car comes, it has a number of days within which you have to clear. If you don't clear, it goes on the uncleared cargo list, and then it's processed for auction or something. And he's asking whether it's the same way transit vehicles are treated.
Yes. You see, transit is not even to be warehoused, let alone to be delayed at the port. And so after 21 days, you should be able to clear your goods. In fact, even with rice and others, and even cement.
Commodities, okay.
Yes. When they arrive at the port, we have to do special arrangements such that it does not delay, no matter the volume. And so before the ship comes, you should have your vehicles, the vehicles or the mode of transport that will cut all the goods. And so if after some time your goods are not cleared from the port, it automatically go to UCL, and it can be auctioned. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's now come to the issue of diversion. In the past year, 2021, how was it? Did you see an increase? Did you see a decrease?
The area of diversion has seen a lot of, I would say that, decrease, or because of some of the measures we put in place.
Which are?
Number one, I will still talk about the engagement. Some of the freight forwarders or the agents or importers who do not know the system and our monitoring system sometimes do think that they can have their own way and divert. And so we have had a lot of engagement with them, and we have explained how our systems work. Now the diversion is reduced because we have sophisticated, or I would say, yes, sophisticated devices that is affixed on every vehicle that is on transit. And these devices do give information to our monitoring, our monitors, which are fixed at dedicated offices in Accra, Tema, and other areas. And these devices give up information. In fact, within 15 minutes, if you have diverted, it will give information.
Right.
And we have staff, our men, who are always behind the monitors, and they are monitoring to ensure the movement. And as we speak now, we have arrested a lot of vehicles who tried to divert. There is a case in Sunyani when someone even removed, he was supposed to move from Accra to Paga, but he diverted to Sunyani. And then he removed the device and then he put it in his house. Yes. So that he felt that he could move the vehicle around without being monitored. But our men on the monitoring screen were able to capture the diversion and then gave the information to Sunyane officers who went to that house, exactly where the car was parked. Yes, and then arrested the vehicle. So as I speak, the vehicle is in the Sunyane office. And so wherever you pass, you cannot hide because the device and the monitoring system communicate so well. Yes. And then also, the diversion has decreased because, like I told you, we have dedicated checkpoints distributed with tablets, and we capture. And so any point that you reach, and we capture your movement, it is uploaded into the system. So if even someone is in Accra and he thinks he can conveniently influence an officer in Paga to put into our data that the vehicle had crossed, there are still the intervening stations which will give evidence that there was no movement, and therefore investigation will begin until the culprits are found. So now it is very difficult to divert. Yeah, but I will still admit that, we are still working with human beings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, what happens to people who are found culpable of diversion?
Yes. In the first place, when you divert and you are arrested, we make sure that you pay the duty and penalty on the vehicle. As because we would want to, first of all, secure our duty. And then secondly, we will conduct investigation to find out if truly you are culpable, and then you are prosecuted. Yeah. So even as we speak, there was a case where some people removed the devices, and then they gave it to a commercial vehicle to send to Hamley, and then they attempted to even influence some officers that, yes, the goods have crossed. But through our system, we were able to capture those devices. And so there is investigation going on as we speak now. And if those people are found culpable, they will be made to pay. In fact, we have started collecting the duties on these vehicles. Then after that, they will be prosecuted. So we prosecute people when they intentionally divert.
Okay. And when you prosecute, do we have people, can you confirm that we have people who are in jail for diversion in our country?
I don't know whether it is...
or they find them?
Sometimes you
they
see,
find them.
Maybe I did not use the right word, but you may be fined. And with people in prison, I don't know whether it is a good platform for me.
I understand. So, obviously, you indicated that you were working with humans, and definitely they will find a way to cheat the system. Some try to be a step ahead of customs, and they would always try to divert. Have you taken any initiatives to ensure that you match them boot for boot? I mean, any new things that you're trying to do to ensure, it is drastically reduced? I mean, diversion.
Yes, yeah. We have a lot of initiatives to ensure that diversion is eliminated. One of the initiatives was the first point of port call, the first port rule. Yes. Yeah, which is still under discussion. But one of the main initiatives...
I have that question here, so I'll
one of the main initiative that we would want to embark, and we have started, is the ZIGMAT. So I will take the opportunity to explain the ZIGMAT small. As I have already said, transit is either bilateral or regional trade and an international trade also. And so right now, what the ECOWAS Commission is saying is that transit is a regional trade, and therefore we should all come on board. And so they have instructed all ECOWAS members should automate their system. So we are all automating the system. Then after you have automated your system, The systems should be able to talk to one another. And so as we speak now, Côte d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso, their systems are talking. In fact, all the French-speaking countries have been able to implement the ZIGMAT. And now Ghana is now exchanging text messages with Togo. After that, we will go to Côte d'Ivoire. What is happening now is this. Now, presently, when your goods gets to the point of exit, like it gets to Paga, the transaction is closed. But between Paga and Burkina Faso, or between Hamile and Burkina Faso, there is that fallow land where anything can happen. And so they can...
We can call it no man's land.
No man's land, yes. They go there and then they can turn about and come in. And the transit regime now becomes smuggling.
Right.
Yes. We want to avoid all those. And so we are saying that instead of closing the transaction at Paga, the exit point, now we are closing the transaction at the point of destination, which is Burkina Faso. And so if your cargo is going to Burkina Faso and Burkina Faso does not confirm that the goods have come, then we will fall on the economic operator to immediately pay the duty in the country where the infraction took place. So by so doing, you don't have anywhere to divert goods. Yes. So that is what one of the main initiatives that we want to do. And so the GRA is taking this thing very serious. But we also have challenges with the ECOWAS Commission.
Right.
In fact, and Ghana Link is even sponsoring some of our officers to ensure that this thing comes on board. And this platform, I will just take the chance to just say that
Please do.
Yes, we are so much happy with their services and their patronage. I mean, sponsoring some of these things for us. Yes. And then after that, the Ghana Link at the same time sometimes sponsor teams made up of customs, and then the NIB,
National Investigation Bureau.
Yes, now it's NIB.
Bureau,
and then other stakeholders to go to the port and then audit the data. How many transactions
took place,
left the point of departure, and how many of them got to the exit point? And what is the evidence that they actually exited? So we do all this auditing. And those that we have seen outstanding, we investigate and make sure that the necessary procedures are done to retrieve either the duty or to correct the data. So like I told you, sometimes there are enough evidence to show that the goods have passed, but officers might not have closed the transactions. Yes.
All right, I'll come to tracking devices, but let me take a look at the first port rule, which was supposed to be operational some time back. What has become of it?
Yes, the first...
You mentioned it.
Yes. The first point rule, you admit that from our discussion now, that transit is either a bilateral or regional trade. And so you may have a fantastic idea in your country, but you are dealing with another country, and they must buy into your ideas. And so, first point of rule, Burkina Faso is saying that fine, but we have to first of all amend our laws to accommodate the first point of rule, because we cannot collect duty on goods that have not come to our land. You see, so it was a bit back and forth until this ZIGMAT idea came. And then the ZIGMAT idea somehow is about to do the same thing as the first point, the first port rule. And so right now, it has the vim or the energy to embark of the first port rule has died down. and now the Zigmat has
taken over.
It has taken over.
So let's come back to the issue of tracking devices. So I just want to find out from you whether customs are satisfied with the current tracking devices that are being deployed for purposes of monitoring and tracking cargo.
Yes. Initially, we were having a lot of challenges because some of the devices were not telling us, were not giving us the true information. There has been times that they have it has given a location, and we will go, it is in the center of the sea. And this is highly a suicidal form of device. And we had a lot of engagement with the Ghana link once again. And the MD, Mr. Nabali, he took this thing very seriously. And in fact, they recalled most of those devices and brought in new devices. This time, these devices are so sophisticated. I would say. They give accurate information and details, and the Google location. I would say that the coordinates of the movement of every transit goods. And so you cannot hide. They give accurate information, and if you follow the direction, you are able to go to where the goods either have been diverted or an infraction has taken place. Yes, sometimes even when the vehicles do have accidents and in the course of the accident, the device is forced open. There is an indication. So we are very much happy with what we are, the devices we are using now.
All right, we picked Signal some time ago. I think I hosted Deputy Commissioner Seidu, one of your deputy commissioners, and he intimated that there was going to be the introduction of some e-tracking system, and that was going to be done in collaboration with the U.S. government under the Security Governance Initiative. How far have you come with that?
Yes, it is true, and the U.S. government sent some consultants to come and do their visibility studies. They did the visibility studies, and they came up with, this is one of the excerpts. The document.
Concept of operations,
And so it was reviewed and then sent to the government.
The U.S. government or our government?
Our government, yes. So for our government also to review, and then they will talk across. And so that is the position now. And so it has not died down. It is still in discussion.
All right, so how better would that be vis-a-vis the current system that we have, the current devices that we have?
The difference is about the difference. You know, the GRA had an experience where we were first dealing with GCNet. And when the marriage got divorced, they took away all their property. And Ghana became very handicapped. And we could not. So in the year 2020, from January to June, we were still doing manual transiting or manual transit. So along that side, we observed that the volumes of transit had gone up, and the volume of import had come down. It means that there was a way that importers could divert. You see, So now this one, what is going to happen is GRA and other stakeholders are going to own it. It is not that somebody would own it and you have to go to a third person for service. Yes, you would have it, and it is yours eternally. And they will also train staff, to ensure that whenever there is any difficulties, they will be able to address the issue, so that there wouldn't be any gap at any time when there are challenges with contracts with a third party. So that is the difference now.
All right, great. So give and take. You haven't heard from government yet. You haven't heard from the U.S. yet. How soon do you think that this particular, idea, can be birthed? So we see its operationalization.
It will be very difficult for me to say anything about that.
All right. So again, I know Customs was working on the containerization of all transit cargo. I mean, how has that also ended?
Yes.
That all transit cargo should be in containers.
Yes. In fact, we have the pros and cons. With the coming in of COVID, you know, there is internationally, there is the shortage of containers. Yes. And so if you insist that all goods should be containerized, it means a lot of goods must remain in the port. That is number one. Number two, we also have noticed that if you say all goods should be containerized, it means that importers have to pay a lot of deposits for the containers, and it is going to increase their costs. Whenever they want, it is going to increase their transport costs, and it is going to make the port unattractive as compared to our competitors. And so this is also another area.
So it means that Ghana is waiting until such a time that our neighbors or competitors also enforce this particular idea.
Yes.
We cannot roll it out.
Oh, no, we can't.
It will be to our disadvantage. Is that what you're saying?
In fact, currently, the practice is going on because of what I am saying.
Right.
But it has also its advantages, you know, because from here to Kumasi, instead of 4 hours, now we use about 6 or 7 hours. Because the vehicles overload and they are not able to move. And they have also increased a lot of accidents on the way.
I'm coming to that.
Yes. And then at the same time, you realize that at the port, there is a bit of congestion because they take a lot of time to load those vehicles. Yes. But if it is in containers, the moment the ship berths, you just take them and put them on the vehicles. And then, so there will be that swift movement of goods, the cargo. You see, so I think that it has its pros and cons. But gradually, what is in the system now is this, that we make sure that all hazardous goods are containerized. That one, we wouldn't compromise.
Right.
Yes. And so that one is what we are so much enforcing. And gradually, we are engaging the stakeholders that this is the way to go. Because if you go to the eastern countries, Uganda, Kenya, and those areas, everything is in container.
Right.
That is one. And in international trade, transit goods should be in containers. That is the guidelines. And so, but we cannot do it all of a sudden in Ghana. So we are doing it bit by bit.
Right.
With the hazardous goods, and then with other goods, then with all goods. So we will get there.
All right. That's fine. So when we come back, I'll be finding out from you about this issue of the axle load, policy, whether these truckers are obeying, and what you're also doing as facilitators of transit trade to ensure that our roads are protected. You mentioned, the overloading, number one, the accidents, and two, the deplorable state of our roads, because obviously they spoil the roads.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So
in fact, 1 kilometer, if asphalt road, is about 100. 1 kilometer is about 100 million.
See?
See?
So it's big money. So when we come back, I'll ask you that question, and we'll take it from there. This is Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television, and tonight we are discussing the role of customs in sustaining transit trade through Ghana's corridors. And we have in the studios an Assistant Commissioner of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority in charge of transit. He is Mr. Peter Antubre Ofori. We are going for a quick break. When we bounce back, we'll continue the discussion. Please stay.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Gold Super XP Run 95 gives you a smooth driving experience that is less vibrations. Fill up with Gold Super XP Run 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
All right, so you're welcome back. We are going straight into our discussion once again, and before we left, I indicated to Assistant Commissioner Peter Antibro-Fori that I was going to ask him what they are doing to ensure that the truckers, those who convey or transport transit cargo from Ghana to neighboring landlocked countries, are really adhering to the axle load policy. One, this is because if they overload, you heard him, it's going to have a toll on our roads, and it's already having, indeed. And then two, there are a lot of accidents also on the road. And so these are things that will be curtailed if they really adhere to the load limits. And so let me find out from you, are they really adhering to the axle load, limits? Before you come in, let me announce, my producer says I can announce the phone lines now. You can call in. The number to dial is 020-552-8353, 020-552-8353. You can call in and contribute to the discussion. Mr. Assistant Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I would want to say that the regulations on axle load lies in the bosom of Ghana Highways Authority.
Yes.
Yes, and as we speak, we have 18 axle load stations scattered all over the country. As at last quarter last year, only 3 were not working. The rest were all active and are working. And the main agenda or the objective of installing this axle weigh station is to reduce overloading and then also over height. Yeah. But most of importers and road transport drivers are not. Because of what they gain, they stand to gain, forgetting that there are other negative repercussions.
Okay, Mr. Assistant Commissioner, please hold your fire there. When we come back, we'll continue. But we have to welcome Benjamin, I guess, from TIFA onto the show. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, please flow.
Yes, so I'm Benjamin from TIFA.
Right. Please go ahead.
Yes, so I want to ask your guest, So for you, this is your boy speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to ask the state of Buankra port.
Okay. All right. Is that all?
Yes, please.
Ben, thank you very much indeed. I think without mincing words, I think Buankra is under the purview of the Ghana Shippers Authority, unless maybe you have something to
Oh,
add.
no, I will leave it there.
Yes. All right. So, Ben, the right or appropriate quarters to ask this particular question is the Ghana Shippers Authority. That's their project. And so, Assistant Commissioner Antubre will not be able to, give you a response with regards, the state of the Buankra Inland Port. What I can say is that the administrative blocks, everything is in place there. There's water, there's electricity, just that it's not operational. And I'm sure it's because perhaps of the real connectivity or something else. But Ghana Shippers Authority would be able to tell you what the real issue is. Thank you very much. So you can also call, and the number to the Ernest from Accra. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, please flow.
Me pacho, the me person me bisana say me a truck driver. If it Accra account someone. Na Niger Casino. Niger Casino. Ebinum du wo no mo a omon fo mo fat scale no so. Ebi in fat scale no so a ya unu se mate ni eti akwa ko ruan se won junction office no. Unu se omo wo car bi wo ho no mo a e ho no mo hwe azli load no. Wo mo mate ni si e ko o te Friday ye bi car bi e passenger fo nyina na ye kasa. Wo mate ni si ko wura ho. O ko wura ho no mo no. Car na mfa honum ana passenger fo nyina ka tehwe car tintintin we ko eni ma loadi wan kwan kuwura beebi a omo teke aze load no na car na twamko enti yen kasa omamu an yen kasa ni bi e nwabro
Yo. Yeah, that was CP. Thank you very much indeed for your call, my brother Ernest from Accra. Yes, Mr. Assistant Commissioner, you would want to perhaps say something about what Peter's complaint is.
Yes, what he has observed it, and that is one of our problems. And you realize that recent times the national security made a swoop at the Azel load stations and arrested some of the staff of the Ghana Highways Authority for exchanging money to allowing these trucks that have overloaded to go. And part of the regulation says that if someone overloads, you have to charge him.
Yeah.
And then he has to shed the goods. That is where the infractions occur. So sometimes money change hands and the vehicles are allowed to go. That is number one. Number two, in Ghana, it is against the law for you to tamper with chassis. But in Burkina and other nations, I don't know their laws about that. So they tamper with the chassis, go and elongate it so that it can carry more goods.
Right.
And so they just elongate the chassis and also widen the frame. And on the way, they take all the road, and you wouldn't have anywhere to pass.
Right.
And discussions are on the way, both with the police and DVLA, to find out where we have to place those cars, whether we should allow them or we should not.
Okay. Let me welcome Benjamin once again. Our first caller is Benjamin. Our third caller is Benjamin. He is calling from BBNE. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, please flow.
Please, I would like to ask, from what the commissioner was saying, maybe if you have goods from abroad and the goods have arrived in the Tema port, so will they call you for you to come for it, or they will just put it in the cargo for them to bring it to your destination? Because from what you were saying that there's a device that detects the routine of wherever the goods are going. So does that mean that you will have to come for the goods, or they will direct the goods to your destination?
All right.
Okay, if I may get you right, before you import goods into, let's say, Ghana, you declare your intention,
whether the goods you're coming to consume it in Ghana, or you want to use the Ghana port to transit your goods to your country of destination, whether Burkina Faso or Niger. If you are coming to consume the goods in Ghana, you will pay duty on the goods. And then after you have finished paying your duty, your goods are given to you. If you want to go and you want to take the goods to Burkina Faso, then we are saying that before you go, we will have to fix devices on the vehicle.
Please,
So,
look, your camera is here, Mr. Assistant Commissioner. That's
Okay.
your camera, so you look into your
Thank
camera
you.
and then, yes.
So we are saying we have to fix devices on your on the vehicle, so that and then we will give you a dedicated route, and we will tell you that this is the route you have to pass. So, for example, from Tema, you have to pass through Kumasi, then Tamale, then Bolga, then Tupaga. And so, if you don't pass there, and when you reach Kumasi, you pass Techiman, the device will tell our monitors that you have diverted your way, and that they should caution you either to come back or that you should be arrested. Because, of course, somebody may not be so conversant with our route and might have missed his way.
Yeah. Right.
So it is not that there is some magical devices somewhere. No. We just depend on your intention before we fix the device. Either
right.
it is home consumption or...
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Assistant Commissioner, when you are speaking, please always look into your camera.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I think we are supposed to welcome Robert onto the phone lines. Hello, Robert. Welcome onto the show.
My problem also was in Brooklyn. Forest for no more. Only for a phone, a 10 million or more PH, or much home. They own more than 5 cars.
Robert, I think we've lost Robert. I don't know, but the power with which he came from, I think with which he came, I think we had allowed him. But yeah, I think the lines are not helping him. So maybe Robert, if you can come back again, we'll be glad to pick your call, and then we'll see what your grievance is and whether Mr. Assistant Commissioner can address it. So I think you were
on the ASI load.
Exactly. Yes.
So. So we are dealing with DVLA and the police and all the other stakeholders to find out how we can deal with those who tamper with the chassis of the vehicles in order to take advantage and load more.
Yeah.
Now, we have a lot of committees. We have the Shippers Council Committee, and then the Ghana National Road Transport Committee. And on that committee, we honestly address issues that has to deal with the axle load. And yes.
Honestly address issues that has to deal with the axle, that has to do with the axle load.
Yes.
Please hold it there. Let's welcome Yao, I think from Sunyani. Good evening, sir.
Prime Minister.
Is it Francis?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Prime Minister.
Is it Yao or Francis?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please flow.
Thank you. Fine, sir. Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
5 weeks. Yes. Only a little suggestion. For transit trucks from Burkina, Niger to our single road to Tema and back with our own trucks, it's not easy for we, the drivers on the road. So the best way, or I'm just suggesting, if we can set up inland port at the border so that the other countries' trucks cannot enter our country, we, the local one, will take their goods to there, and they also take their goods and go, so that the road will free for us. Because the road is too full of heavy-duty trucks, oversized, tall ones. It's not easy, because we are still using single road. So if we can manage to get inland port at the border, they will just come for their goods at the border and take go. We, the trucks in Ghana here, we take all their goods to them, so that the road will free more for the buses and the other private cars. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Francis. I saw you nodding in agreement, Mr. Assistant Commissioner.
Yes,
yeah.
I am in agreement. It is a very good submission, and I also buy into it.
Right.
I was with the Estate Department for 16 years.
Okay.
And it was my vision that a large tract of lands are bought at the exit stations.
Right.
And so I spearheaded that.
Okay.
At Kulungungu, we have 50 acres
of land,
there. And then Paga, and then Hamile. In fact, it was Hamile.
Yeah.
I had wanted to follow up with 60 acres.
Right.
Yeah, but...
And how many did you get?
I couldn't finish the transaction.
Okay, before you were removed from estates. Okay.
And so if we are able to do that, it is going to help us a lot. You know, as we speak now, Paga holds about 70% of all the transit vehicles that passes through Ghana. And all those vehicles must pass through Kumasi. And so if you are commuting between Accra and Kumasi, you are not safe because of this. I am praying that the Eastern Corridor Road will come to life, and then maybe we may channel some of the transit vehicles along that route to pave way for commuters.
Right. Yes. Let me say good evening to Yusuf from Bimbla. He's on the line. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Please flow.
In fact, I'm very happy and very glad to hear this program on your station.
Thank you very much indeed.
Truly speaking, the Assistant Commissioner has spoken rightly. Yeah, good evening, sir. In fact, I am very, very grateful for this program that you have actually brought on your station. If I dare hear the Assistant Commissioner, of course, he spoke rightly. But the main problem is just our Ghana Police Service. They are exchanging our lives for money. Look at even the way Burkina Faso, Niger vehicle has been loading. All you know is that even the drivers who are taking the car cannot even look back to see whatever car is coming behind them. And that is normally what resulted in this fatal accident that is occurring. So I'm very, very grateful. But the concern I have is that the Ghana Police Service needs to be strengthened, and they need to be serving checks on them.
Right. Thank you very much, Yusuf. Thank you, Yusuf Salifu from Bimbla.
Yes.
I think he has an issue with the police.
The Ghana Police.
Yes.
Yes. I'm not saying that everything is well with the police. But they should also not be accused falsely.
Yeah.
The Ghana police do not mind the ASIL load station.
Yes.
They depend on the certificate that the drivers...
It's the Ghana Highways Authority, right?
It is Ghana Highways Authority.
Yeah, sure.
And so if Ghana Highways Authority certifies that these goods are not overloaded, the police cannot do anything. So... it is not always the case that police are exchanging...
Mr. Assistant Commissioner, is it also not the case that they would receive the certificate certifying that they have, carried the appropriate load, and then when they exit that place, they stop at some point and then load again and add up? Is that not possible?
Hardly.
I think that's possible.
It is possible, but hardly. Because the transit regime does not allow unauthorized tampering with the goods.
Okay.
We always make sure that the integrity and transparency of movement is secured.
Okay.
Yes, so and then the devices also give alerts. And our men, we call us the RDT, the Rapid Response Team.
Okay.
They are always along the transit route to ensure that some of these things do not happen. Of course, we have seen sometimes goods that are being put on top of the transit vehicles. But these are some small plastic, weightless rubber bags. Sometimes they have bought, they want to... It's not much, But sincerely, most of the overload begins at the point of loading. Okay. And all of us must. That is why I said that there is this committee headed by Mr. Asiedu Date.
Yes, Fred Asiedu Date,
Yes.
Ghana Shippers Authority.
Yes.
We'll come back to that, but let's welcome, I think Benjamin from Bibiani has some unfinished business with us. He's back on the line, so let's see what he has this time. Hello, good evening, Ben, once again.
Good evening, Master.
Yes.
I want to appreciate the program that you're doing. In fact, I want to thank you very well because it has broadened my knowledge about certain things that I don't know. And I want to ask that, assuming.
Yes, Ben, we are listening.
Okay, assuming you are importing goods from, let's say, a popular city like Dubai. So are you going to pay a duty on that goods in Dubai? And when the goods also arrives in Ghana, are you going to pay another duty on it?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Assistant Commissioner. I think that he's asking whether the question is clear.
Yeah, it's
whether
clear.
you pay duties on goods you purchase in Dubai and come back to Ghana and pay duty on it again or something. That's,
it never happens anywhere. If you buy goods in Dubai, you pay for the price of the goods. And then when you bring the goods in Ghana, we take duty, looking at the price at which the goods were bought. And so you don't pay duty in Dubai and again come and pay duty in Ghana. It doesn't happen. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's welcome Mike from Kumasi onto the show. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mike, please flow.
I just like my guest on the issue. He's telling Ghanaians that.
Mike, can you speak up a bit? Your voice is a bit faint.
Yes, sir. I'm saying that I just like my officer on the show.
Okay.
He's telling Ghanaians the truth.
Okay.
And I want to ask the overloading issue. The overloading issue, is it from the port or is from where? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
Yes.
I think he just addressed that, but please.
Yes. That is what we are all saying, that the overloading issue, about 95% takes place at the point of loading, which is the port. And it behooves all the stakeholders to make sure that the overloading does not occur. At the port, it is the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority that mans the axle station. But
not Ghana Highways Authority
not Ghana
officials.
Highway for now, not Ghana. But the laws actually says that Ghana Highways Authority should do that. But on the transit route, it is Ghana Highways Authority that mans those axle load stations.
Because at the ports, I don't see how the ports, those in the port can look at trucks being overloaded and they won't react.
Yeah.
I think that they would adhere to the limits.
And you see, sometimes the overloading occurs because there is always discrepancy in the reading between the axle load station at the port and those on the way.
Okay.
And so always we call in the Standard Boards Authority to do the maintenance and the standardization.
Yeah.
But it does occur. And so goods that the port might have said that it is okay.
Yeah.
On the way, Ghana Highway
Authority.
Authorities may say that it is overloaded.
Okay.
And it's also one of the bottlenecks. So it becomes a bit of argument.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't think that officers at the port will deliberately overload the truck when they know that this is the limit they're supposed to carry.
Okay, that is true. But recently, the national...
Let's welcome Abraham from Tamale onto the show. When we finish, then we tackle that issue. Hello, AB. Good evening, sir.
Fine evening, sir. Hello.
Hello, Abraham.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes, please flow.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the program, and I say a big thank you to your panelists. He's doing well. I love the program, how he explained things out. It has been clear to me.
Thank you, sir.
I really love the program, but I want to find out, like, if goods have been carried, maybe the person is carrying goods that is not accepted. So I want to know, is it that they are going to check it at the port or at the transit operation system where they are going to check it? So I want to know the place that they are responsible to check whether goods are accepted or not.
Okay. I think you got him clear.
Yes, whether goods are accepted. I don't get I don't get it. When you say goods are accepted, I really don't understand. But let me take it this way. We have restricted goods. We have prohibitive goods. And we have goods that must be cleared under licenses.
Right.
So that if you are bringing in goods that are prohibited in our country, we will seize them at the point where the goods is identified or seen. So that if you are coming from Togo and the goods are prohibitive, and then you reach Aflao border will seize the goods. Yes, if you are coming from Tema or airport, it will be seized respectively. If the goods are restricted, then we will also would want you to have the licenses that permits you to import those goods. If you don't have those licenses, it means it is illegal for you to do that business.
Right.
And we will not allow you to bring those goods.
Okay.
So those goods will be.
All right. So with regards to the issue of axle load in the ports, the way bridges, I'm told, is manned by Ghana Highway Authority and the National Security in the ports.
You see, it is manned by Ghana Highways Authority. That is by law.
Yes.
But we realize that some staff at the Ghana Highway Authority, at the blind side of their management, were abusing the system. And so National Security made a swoop. And then they did their intelligence and investigation, and then they found out that some people are taking advantage and are abusing the system. And so they went in and arrested them, and then they took over. The first month that they took over those Azilo stations, they brought in over, I think, 800,000 Ghana cedis to the consolidated fund. While Ghana Highway Authority, some of the staff were only presenting about 700.
Yeah, so it's not Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, it's Ghana Highways Authority. You mentioned Ghana, so that's why I'm saying that.
Yes,
it's
all
Ghana
of us
Highways
are
Authority
guilty.
and National Security, not Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
All of us are guilty. So what we have to do, or what we have decided to do, with the committees, is to.
Oh, you're so okay. Fred, I said that. Fred, I said that led committee.
Yes.
So let me pick our last caller, Isaac, who's calling us from Accra, and then that's our last caller, and then we wrap up. Okay. Hello, sir, Isaac.
Yeah.
Sorry for holding you on the line. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, please flow.
Yes. Mr. Mona, what I like your program, and I'm so happy with the program.
Thank you, sir.
So I will ask that you get more time to educate a lot of us.
Right.
But my simple question to the custom officer is that, why is it that people who import goods, especially these cars, through our ports, let me give a scenario. The duty on a car is 700 Ghana cedis. The person couldn't make up the money, the car is confiscated. Maybe the person has 500 Ghana cedis out of 700. Then the car is confiscated and kept in their custody for 2-3 months. That same car is being auctioned for 200 Ghana cedis. Then somebody picked it up, worked on it, and then put it in a garage to sell at exorbitant price. Why don't you, if Ghana government were to even take the 500 the person imported and could pay, and then spread the 200 for him to pay, if our Ghana government will earn more than confiscating the car, keeping it and selling it to people at 200 Ghana cedis.
Right.
In Nassau, the government is losing 300 Ghana cedis.
Isaac, your point is well
Then
made. Thank you
you
very
s-
much indeed. Thank you, Isaac. Your point is well made. Just 30 seconds, and we'll wrap up because the news team is ready
Yes.
to come on with their news. So just 30
Thank
seconds.
you very
Mr.
much.
AC,
I would want to say that presently, what the Customs Administration is doing is when it is to be auctioned, the first opportunity is given to the one who brought the vehicle into the country. And so if he has any issues like that, you are right to either the Commissioner General or the Commissioner of Customs. And then they will listen to you and make sure that you have your vehicle.
All right. Okay. All right. So we say a very big thank you to Assistant Commissioner Customs Peter Antubre-Ofori. He's in charge of transit at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Tonight we've been discussing the role of customs in sustaining transit trade through Ghana's corridors. My name is Kennedy Mona. We say a big thanks to our sponsors, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link Network Services, the operators of the integrated customs management system at the port. God willing, next week we shall bounce back with another wonderful edition of Iron Port. Please stay